The battle for Veltraxis was over, but its scars remained. Smoke rose from the shattered towers of the capital city, and the once mighty Zarnathi Empire lay broken. The Emperor Zorith was gone, defeated in a final duel by Kalei, the human warrior, who had returned from the shadows of history. The throne room was quiet now. The heavy banners of the old empire had been taken down, replaced with new symbols, symbols of unity, hope, and change. Princess Serena, now Empress, stood tall in her new robes. Beside her was Kale, not just a warrior, but her husband, her partner, and her equal. The people of Veltraxis gathered in the great square. Thousands cheered as the two stepped forward to speak. It was a moment no one would forget. Serena's voice rang clear. Today we turn a new page. The lies and betrayals of the past are behind us. We stand together, humans, Zarnathi, Orenthal, and all who seek peace. Kale smiled, his eyes bright. We fought not just to survive, but to build a future where all species are equals. Together, we will protect this galaxy and all its people. The crowd erupted in cheers. Flags flew high, showing the new alliance of species. Children waved small banners, their faces hopeful. But even in this moment of triumph, Kale and Serena knew the work was only beginning. Behind the scenes, the old High Council members were being hunted. Some fled to distant stars, while others faced trial for their crimes. The new government was formed, a council of many species. With Serena and Kale as leaders, the new empress was wise and just, listening to all voices. Kale used his warrior strength to protect and guide, but he never forgot his roots. He refused titles that set him above others, preferring to be called simply the Warrior of Earth. One evening, as they walked through the palace gardens, looked at Kale with a soft smile. "You have changed my world," she said. Kale took her hand gently. "And you have given me a home." Together, they watched the stars, dreaming of the future. A future where humans were no longer hunted but celebrated. Where the galaxy was united by truth and love. In the distance, a new starship stood ready, a ship named Unity. Its hull bore the flags of many worlds, a symbol of peace and strength. As the engines hummed softly, Kale and Serena knew their journey was far from over. They would explore new worlds, meet new friends, and face new challenges. But no matter what came, they would face it together. For the princess had found her true husband, the human warrior, who had waited through centuries of silence. And together, they would build a galaxy where every being could shine. The sky above Veltraxis was heavy with warships' dark silhouettes against the stars. The Vral Dominion's fleet had arrived, ready to take advantage of the Empire's weakness. But this time, Veltraxis would not stand alone. Princess Serena and Kale stood together on the bridge of the starship Unity, their eyes fixed on the approaching battle. Around them were allies from many worlds, humans, Orenthal, blue-skinned warriors, and others who had heard the truth and joined their cause. Serena's voice was calm but strong. "Today we fight not just for Veltraxis, but for all who have suffered under lies. We fight for truth, for peace, and for a new future." Kale nodded. "We fight as one human and alien alike." The battle began with a roar. Energy blasts lit the void as ships weaved and fired. The Vral Dominion was fierce and experienced, but they had not counted on the unity they faced. Kale piloted his fighter with skill and courage, dodging enemy fire and protecting Serena's ship. He called out orders to the fleet, his voice steady, inspiring confidence. Amid the chaos, a warning came through the Kumzan enemy ship, locked a missile on the Unity. Serena's heart raced. "Evasive maneuvers?" she shouted. Kale twisted the controls, narrowly dodging the missile's blast. The ship shook, but held firm. "Thank you, Kale," Serena said, her voice soft. He smiled. "I'll always protect you." The battle raged on, but the tides began to turn. The Unity's fleet fought bravely, and soon the Vral ships started to retreat. After the victory, Serena and Kale met in the ship's quiet chamber. The war was not over, but hope burned bright. Serena reached out and took Kale's hand. Never truly understood what you meant to me until now. Kale squeezed her hand gently. We were always connected, even when we didn't know. Their bond grew stronger, a symbol of unity between humans and aliens alike. But peace was fragile. The Emperor's loyalists were still dangerous, and the High Council plotted revenge. One evening, Serena and Kale prepared a message to send. Across the galaxy, revealing the Empire's betrayal, the ship's alarms blared. Sabotage, Kale shouted. Guards rushed in. An explosion rocked the ship, damaging systems. In the chaos, a group of traitors stormed the chamber. Kale fought fiercely, protecting Serena, but they were outnumbered. Just when all seemed lost, reinforcements arrived, Dorenthal warriors and hidden human fighters. They pushed back the attackers. Serena looked at Kale, her eyes full of gratitude. In love, we will never give up. Together, they broadcasted the truth to every corner of the galaxy. Stories of betrayal, hidden wars, and broken promises spread like wildfire. Worlds began to rise, questioning the old empire and seeking a new way. Serena's message ended with these words: The future belongs to all who choose truth and courage. Together, we will build a better galaxy. As the stars shone brightly outside, Kale and Serena stood united, ready to lead the fight for justice, love, and peace. The night air was thick with tension as Kale and Princess Serena slipped through the shadowed corridors beneath the palace. Their footsteps echoed softly, but every sound seemed louder than usual. The Emperor's soldiers were searching for them. The secret they carried was dangerous, too dangerous for many to hear. Serena glanced at Kale, whose steady eyes met hers. We can't trust anyone in the palace, she said quietly. Not even my closest advisors. Kale nodded. Right. Then we must find others who will stand with us. The truth is strong, but we need allies. They reached a hidden exit that led to the lower levels of Veltraxis, where forgotten tunnels and secret passages twisted beneath the city. Kale's hand brushed against a smooth wall panel, and it slid open, revealing a small room filled with ancient weapons and devices. It was a place where old friends once gathered in secret. We're not alone, Kale whispered. From the shadows stepped figures, humans, aliens, and hybrids. Survivors from the Terran Wars, hidden away to escape persecution. They looked weary, but determined. Serena stepped forward, her voice strong. My people were lied to. The Empire's leaders betrayed not only humans, but many others. We must stand together if we want peace. An elder human stepped forward. Kale, you were thought lost. You believed the promise was broken. Kale smiled. It was, but it's not too late. The Emperor's High Council hid the truth to keep power. They spread lies about humans to make others fear us, Serena added. I will not let their lies rule my people anymore. We will expose the betrayal. Their plan was dangerous. The High Council controlled the Empire's communication systems and the military forces. To challenge them meant war. Meanwhile, in the grand halls of the palace, Emperor Zorith sat on his throne, his face cold and stern. The news of Kale's escape reached him swiftly. His daughter's rebellion was a threat to his reign. Find them, he commanded. Capture Kale and bring him to me. And make sure Serena knows what happens to traitors. The High Council whispered among themselves, their faces hidden in shadows. They feared the rising power of the humans and the princess's sudden change of heart back in the tunnels. Kale and Serena prepared to leave the city. They had to warn the other planets of the looming danger. The Vral Dominion, a hostile species from beyond the known space, had returned. They heard of the Empire's weakness and sought to conquer Veltraxis. Serena's heart ached. If the Empire falls, who will protect the people? Kale placed a hand on her shoulder. We will protect them together. They boarded a small starship hidden in the caves, a sleek craft with old Earth technology and alien modifications. As the engines hummed to life, Serena looked back at the city's glowing towers. This is only the beginning, she said. Their first stop was the planet Orenthal, home to a peaceful but proud race who once fought alongside humans. If they could convince Orenthal's leaders to join their cause, they might turn the tide. But Orenthal was guarded. The rulers distrusted outsiders, especially humans. When Serena and Kale landed, they were greeted by the counselor group of tall, blue-skinned beings with sharp eyes. "You come with claims of betrayal and war," the council leader said coldly. "Why should we trust you?" Serena stepped forward, her voice firm. "Because the truth cannot be hidden forever. Your people deserve to know what the Empire has done." Kale showed them the data crystal from the starlit vault. The images and messages shocked the council. They whispered among themselves, faces filled with doubt and anger. Finally, the council leader spoke. "If what you say is true, then we must act. Yeah, the Empire's lies have caused too much pain." With Orenthal's support, word of the Emperor's betrayal began to spread through the systems. People whispered in markets, debated in councils, and questioned the stories they had been told for years. Back on Veltraxis, Emperor Zorith's grip weakened. His soldiers faced growing unrest. Many began to doubt their orders. Serena and Kale knew they had little time. The Vrol dominions. Ships darkened the skies. The Empire's enemies were ready to strike in a secret meeting. Serena faced her father's top general, a man she once trusted. "Father's orders are clear," the general said. "Kill Kale and bring Serena back." Serena looked at him with sadness. "You fight for lies. I fight for truth." The general raised his weapon, but before he could fire, Kale stepped forward. With swift moves, he disarmed the man without harm. "This war will not be won by force alone," Kale said. "It will be won by courage and truth." The general lowered his weapon, confused but silent. The battle for Veltraxis was coming. But for the first time in years, hope burned bright in Serena's heart. Her true husband, the human warrior Kale, stood by her side. Together, they would fight not just for power, but for the future of all their people. After the Unity trials ended, the palace was quiet, but Princess Serena's mind was far from calm. The name Kale kept echoing in her heart. How could she forget a name that felt so close, so familiar? She needed answers. That night, Serena sat alone in her chamber, staring at the stars through the tall windows. The stars reminded her of stories her nurse told her when she was a child. Stories about ancient peace pacts and secret promises. One story she had nearly forgotten was about a special bond made long ago, between her family and a human warrior named Kale. Her hand trembled as she reached for a small old box hidden beneath her bed. Inside, wrapped in faded cloth, was a silver ring, simple but strong. She had worn it as a child, given by someone she could barely remember. The ring had the symbol of two hands joined together, one alien, one human. "Kale," she whispered again. The next morning, Serena called for Kale to come to her private chamber. The guards were nervous, but the princess was firm. Kale arrived quietly, his eyes calm but wary. "Kale," Serena said, "who are you really? Why have you come?" Kale looked at her, his voice steady. "I am who I have always been, a protector, a warrior. But more than that, I am your promised bondmate, princess. We were united by a secret pact long ago, before the wars." Serena gasped. "But the humans, I thought they were all gone. Why was this hidden from me?" Kale's face darkened, "Because some in your empire wanted the truth to be lost. They feared that peace between our peoples would bring change. They erased much of the history, especially the part where your true husband was a human." Serena stood up, trembling with a mix of shock and hope. "My true husband?" Kale nodded. "Before the Terran Wars, your family and the human leaders made a secret promise. You and I were bound to unite our worlds. But after the wars, many powerful people betrayed that promise." Serena felt tears rise, but she blinked them away. "Show me proof. I need to see." Kale reached into his bag and pulled out a small data crystal. He handed it to her. Serena placed the crystal into a reader on her desk. Images and messages appeared, hidden records from the past, secret letters between her parents and human leaders, and a photo of a young Kale and Serena playing together in the palace garden. Her breath caught. This is impossible." Smiled sadly. The truth was buried. It cannot stay hidden forever. Suddenly alarms blared throughout the palace. The doors to her chamber burst open. Palace guards rushed in with weapons drawn. "Kale, you are under arrest," a stern voice commanded. It was Lord Darren, the Emperor's chief advisor. Kale did not resist. Serena stepped forward. "Wait. Kale is no threat. He brings the truth. Why do you attack him?" Darren sneered. "The truth you seek is dangerous. Humans are traitors. Your father forbids anyone to uncover this past." Serena's heart pounded. "Father," as Darren said coldly, "the Emperor has ordered Kale's arrest and demands silence. Your duty is to obey." Serena looked at Kale, who nodded slightly. Then, with swift strength, Kale moved. Using a hidden device, he disabled the guards' weapons and broke free. The guards scrambled, shocked by his speed. "Come with me, Kale," said urgently. Serena had no choice. She followed him through secret corridors she had never seen before. They reached the ancient starlit vault, a hidden room filled with records, maps, and secrets of the Empire. "Here," Kale said, "you can find the real history." Serena touched the walls, feeling the weight of lost truths. She saw drawings of humans and aliens together, sharing knowledge and friendship. She saw warnings about betrayal, about lies told to keep power. Kale looked at her. "You must understand, Serena. The Empire's leaders betrayed our peoples to keep control. They blamed humans for war, but they were the ones who caused it." Serena's mind raced. "What can we do? The Emperor and his council will never accept this." Kale smiled faintly. "We start with you. You are the princess. You can change things." Just then, the vault doors shook. Outside, heavy boots marched. "The Emperor's soldiers," Kale said grimly. "They have found us." Serena grabbed a small blaster from the wall and fired. Kale covered her as the soldiers broke in. Together, they fought side by side, moving with skill and trust. When the last soldier fell, Serena looked at Kale. "I believe you. I will help you." Kale's eyes shone with hope. "Then we must act fast. The Empire's secrets cannot stay hidden. The people deserve the truth." As they escaped into the night, Serena thought of her childhood memories, the laughter, the games, the promise she never understood until now. Her true husband was alive, and the future of the galaxy was about to change. The Great Hall of the Zarnathi Empire buzzed with excitement. Thousands of aliens from different worlds had gathered to watch the annual Unity Trials, a contest to show loyalty to the Empire and its princess. The trials were not just fights. They were a chance for warriors to prove their strength, skill, and honor. Winners earned high respect in places close to the throne. Princess Serena sat on her high throne, her eyes sharp and curious. She was young, strong, and known for her wisdom. But this year's trials held a secret that would change her life and the future of her people. The arena doors opened with a loud clang. One by one, warriors entered, huge armored beasts with claws, swift, bright-skinned fighters, and others with strange powers and weapons. They all wanted to win, but none could match the legend that was about to arrive. Then, from the shadows, stepped a figure no one expected, a human. Humans were thought to be extinct. The last stories told of the terrible Terran Wars, where humans and aliens fought for survival. The humans lost. Almost everyone believed they had vanished, but here stood a man, tall and strong, wearing light armor and a helmet, hiding his face. The crowd gasped. The guards tensed. No one knew where he came from. Serena leaned forward, eyes wide. There was something about the human's presence, confident, almost familiar. The human did not speak. Instead, he raised his hands in respect and entered the arena. The first challenge was a brutal fighter from the Vral species, known for their fierce strength. The Vral warrior roared and charged, but the human moved quickly, dodging every blow with strange practiced skill. He used speed, clever moves, and a small glowing device on his wrist. In a flash, the human disarmed the Vral and held his sword. At the warrior's throat, the crowd was silent. Then a sudden cheer broke out. The human had won. Next came a fierce female warrior with energy blades. She smiled cruelly, confident she would crush the human, but he stayed calm. He fought not just with power, but with intelligence. He waited for her to tire and then disarmed her with a smooth move. With every fight, the human showed not only strength but honor. He never attacked the weak or used unfair tricks. The audience began to respect him. Serena watched closely. There was something in his eyes, deep, steady, and full of purpose. She felt a strange pull in her heart. Finally, the human reached the last round. His opponent was the Empire's champion, Serena's own guard captain. Rallan was strong, loyal, and proud. He bowed to the human and prepared for battle. The fight was fierce. Rallan struck hard, but the human blocked every blow. Then, using a sudden move, the human knocked Rallan to the ground without hurting him. The crowd erupted in applause. Serena stood and called out, "Human warrior, what is your name?" The man slowly removed his helmet, revealing a face strong and kind, with eyes that seemed to know her. "My name is Kale," he said simply. Serena's heart skipped a beat. "Kale," she whispered. The name felt old, like a distant memory. Waking up inside her, no one understood what was happening, but Serena knew this was only the beginning of a much larger story.